Talk about the new moon in Aquarius. It's exact on Friday, February 9th at 3:58 p.m. Mountain Time. And when we have a new moon, the sun and the moon are in the same position in the sky. And in this case, that's at 2040 Aquarius, almost 21 degrees. And this new moon in Aquarius is louder than usual because it is squared by Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus is a revolutionary of sorts that revolutionizes our relationship to the material, to the sensual, to our finances, and we've seen a lot of disruptions in said areas since Uranus entered Taurus. And as it forms the square to our new moon, it's creating more disruption. And there's a desire for revolution and change that you are probably noticing within yourself and without yourself, like around you collectively. There is a lot of impulsivity that can come up around a new moon like this when it's squared by Uranus. And so watch out for a desire to jump before you have the resources, the support, the information that you need to make that leap of faith. It is possible that we will have big downloads and big ideas coming through that can lead us towards something really beautiful. And it's possible that we might like run forward and lurch forward before we're ready to do so. So just be mindful about the choices that you make throughout this transit and over the next few days, because it's likely you'll feel both a combination of soul aligned urges toward action that is true and authentic, and also more egoic, impulsive choices that you might make just because you're bored or because you want change for change's sake, as opposed to making changes that are in step with where you want to go, with your vision and with your values. And I say vision and I say values in part because we also have Venus forming a really lovely trine to Uranus. And Venus brings us into our values, what we care about, what we find beautiful, what we prize, where we take pleasure, and how we experience pleasure and beauty and joy and connection. And so all of those things are likely to be changing for you. And even if it's on a really minor level, like wanting to wear a different color than usual, or wanting to express yourself through your style a bit differently than you usually would. So all of that stuff could be up for change, and it could be that you're really compelled to make dynamic changes in your life that are true to you and that feel authentic and that give you like a big yes when you tune in, because they are in step with what you care about and what you value. They're in step with your personal values, Venus. It's also possible that surrounding those more like soul aligned desires for change are also these sort of arbitrary, loud impulses because of the Uranus square to the sun and the moon that may stir up our emotions and want us to create change simply because we are uncomfortable or bored with our circumstances, and not because the change we're seeking is actually authentic to us. So in the new moon circle that I hosted last night, and in the blog post that I published about this new moon last night, both of which are available in my bio, there was this conversation that we were having about what it means to feel a soul aligned desire versus an egoic desire, and how that's a different felt experience in the body. And so this might be a really cool time for you to tune into how that manifests for you. Are there actual physical sensations that you have that tell you something is a yes versus a no versus a maybe? And how can you tell the difference between kind of intuitive or like soul level desires versus egoic desires that are just driving you to do something to do something? And that's not to like throw shade at impulsivity or spontaneity, which are beautiful and fun. And I would actually really encourage you to have fun during this transit if fun is available to you. And if it doesn't feel available, try to make it. Try to create fun for yourself, because there's some type of like vibrancy and action and change that many of us are desiring in this moment. We are desiring change, and sometimes the change is just, I need to change my mood. I need to get out of feeling like shit temporarily by like moving physically or doing something weird or like putting myself out there a little bit. So taking like those types of little risks just to shift your energy could be really lovely right now. But again, I would dissuade you from taking radical action that could potentially lead to major consequences in your life, because it is possible that it might be a fleeting impulse that you end up regretting later. So just pause, and she's barking to confirm. So just try to pause, and that might be a tall order during all of this Uranus stuff, especially since we also have Jupiter squaring Mercury, which is creating this like kind of at times maybe exaggerated hope around a certain outcome. But I want to talk about hope briefly because I saw something on Instagram the other day that I loved, and I wish I remember who the creator was, but they were talking about how hope is not some like fragile, ethereal thing. Hope is actually really strong and courageous. It takes courage and it takes some degree of risk often to hope. It's easy to fall into cynicism these days and to see the world through like really ugly, shit colored glasses. And it takes courage and some degree of like audacity, I guess, which is a very Jupiterian word. It takes some level of audacity to hope when circumstances are showing you that it might feel hopeless. And so if you feel hope throughout this transit, try to run with that and take an opportunity to vision and to start imagining a life that you would like for yourself. Because this is a really gorgeous time to enlist the support of the unseen in making those dreams happen, to set an intention for yourself, for the collective, for this world, and to then take a line to action when it calls to you. If you can plant your vision in your values, and that would be my homework for you this week, is to plant your vision for your life and for this world in your values, and then start making choices that align with those values and with that vision. Because there is a sense of momentum that's coming with this new moon and some wind behind our sails that can help nudge us forward toward the choices that are rooted in our truth. I also posted a written tarot reading in my blog post for this new moon. You can find that in my link in bio. And again, the new moon circle that I hosted last night, which included a really lovely inner child journey where I take you on this imaginative exercise to reconnect with your little weirdo within and to help kind of like free them from some of the shackles of like anti-weirdness culture and homogeneity and all of the boring bullshit that we have to deal with in like a capitalistic society. Anyway, I took you on a journey, or took the people who attended on a journey to help kind of reclaim little bits of ourselves that may get stuffed into the corners at time. And it was really fun. And the recording is available for purchase for $9.99 on Vimeo. And then I'm also hosting or offering love readings for $14 a question via the link in my bio. So you can find all that below if you want to work together. And otherwise, I hope you have a really lovely and fun new moon in Aquarius.